Hey guys, welcome to Raja Makes Money. How are all my money makers doing today? Hope everybody had a great weekend, but so much stuff going on in the markets. Gonna talk about it. So much stuff. What a week ahead of us. We have crazy stuff in Washington going on. We have just all sorts of insanity everywhere. So definitely be interesting to see what these markets have coming up this week. Like I said, all eyes are going to be obviously on Washington mostly and the president. Markets have hit all-time highs right now, so which is great, and also a downfall because with markets at all-time highs means all-time profit taking sometimes comes into play. Plus, we had that crazy thing with Signal last week. I feel bad for all those people. Almost tomorrow, some people are going to lose $500-600 million because of one tweet by Elon Musk. So definitely going to be interesting. I got Michael here joining me today.
Hello.
So Michael's going to be one of our future money makers. So welcome. Bonsai in the house, one of our YouTube sponsors with those green arrows. That's right. Let's hope for another big week. So lots going on. So just to recap where we were last week, we ended the week. We'll pull up the screen here. We ended the week with at $5,324,000. Up $324,000 for the week, so a great start to the new year. And that was even after we were down almost over $400,000 one day last week. So what a strong comeback, did really good. What we have in play right now is we have the Jaguar Health. We have 25,000 shares. We're hoping to see a pop on that tomorrow, and tomorrow will probably be the last day to trade Jaguar and be done with it. But you never know. But I'm hoping for a pop in the morning and get out of these, make a profit, and call it good. And then we have 800 contracts of the Apple 128s. So we're playing that a little conservative. Apple closed, as you guys remember, at 132.05. After hours was down a little bit. But, like I said, it should be pretty good this week. Should be pretty stable. As of right now, the futures are pretty flat. We can take a look here. This is what the futures are doing in the marketplace right now. Pre-market, so down a little bit. They opened up a little flatter than this. They've kind of moved a little. But it's going to be interesting. Like I said, the marketplace is lots of news, lots of stuff going on this week. So, looks pretty flat to open up, but that's good. Like I said, whenever you have all-time highs, people want to take profits and move on and stuff. So this is the big story. So Elon Musk tweeted everyone should get Signal, and he was talking about the Signal app. Well, everyone thought so of course everyone jumped all over it, just like they did Dogecoin. So they thought when he tweeted it, he was talking about some people understood he was talking about an app, and I don't think he did anything misleading, because he said download the Signal app or play Signal. He didn't say buy Signal stock. He said download the Signal app or something, because he was talking about freedom of speech, and it's a better app. So let's take a look. So this is Signal. It hit actually an all-time high of $10 on Friday. But this is going to be bad for people, because if you look at the stock, so this is the stock in the last month, the last 3 months, the last year. I mean, this stock is a 14 cent. It's increased a little bit from its lows, but it was a 40-cent stock right here. And then it shot all the way up to $10 and wound up closing at $7.19. So now that the news is out, I feel really bad, because this stock right now at $7 a share has a market cap of $659 million. So either maybe Elon Musk, now that he's worth $200 billion, maybe he'll just come in and buy up. Maybe he'll just have a big buy order and buy up all the shares at $7 so nobody loses money. But these are really scary situations, because what you're going to have happen now, you have to think about this. If this company's worth $659 million at $7 a share, and it was really only worth 50 cents a share at $50 million, $600 million is going to get lost tomorrow if this stock maybe the stock only goes to $1. It stays above where it was, but still, that's 550 million, 600 million is going to be lost. People, all these small investors who jumped in on this, here's what's probably going to happen. My guess is this stock will open up tomorrow at like $3, but who's going to buy the stock? Like, why would you want to buy Signal stock knowing it's a 50-cent stock? Nobody's going to buy it. So this thing's going to rocket ship down, and then there'll hopefully be some support at the 50-cent level. But there's nobody. I don't know who's going to buy this stock tomorrow, unless people didn't get the news or, are late to the table. But these are dangerous. So you always have to do your due diligence. Always make sure you're paying attention because, like I said, some people are going to lose a lot of money. Imagine, you're that guy who bought, 100 shares of it at $7 for $700, and now it's worth $1. You just lost $600. And if you're only trading, with $1,000, $2,000, so always be careful. And that's why I always tell you guys, these penny stocks are high risk. They're high reward sometimes, but super high risk. So you got to be very, very careful. Welcome everyone. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click on that subscribe button on YouTube and click that gray bell. Since we're a live show, you always want to make sure you have that gray bell clicked. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you click on the follow button and the like button. If you don't click that little thumb up like, you won't get notifications on Facebook when we're live. So I just want to say that. Also, big shout out to all our YouTube sponsors in the house that have access to those really cool emojis now and stand out in the YouTube chat. And of course, all our Patreon members. Thank you guys for all your support. Almost 50 Patreon members strong. So you guys get all my trades in real time. And remember, guys, these are my trades. This is for entertainment purposes only. You guys are more than welcome to follow or watch what I'm doing. And hopefully I will be successful and hit my goals. But remember, there's high risk. And I'm not a financial advisor, so always make sure to do your own due diligence and be, and be cautious and careful when you're trading stocks. And that's my disclaimer for you guys today. But hey, let's talk about the markets this week. So I have a feeling this week the market's going to be kind of flat. Maybe you'll have a down day of a couple of hundred, an up day of a couple of hundred. But you have to remember when the markets are at 300,000 points, or 33,000, excuse me, the Dow's at 33,000. It sounds like a lot, like 300, a year ago, 300 points up or down, you thought was a huge day because it was a big number. But when the Dow's at 33,000 points and it moves 300 points in a day, that's 1%. It's not a very big number, 330 points. So it's not like, oh my God, it's, so when like the Dow only moves, 50 or 100 points in a day, it doesn't look like a lot. So, It's very interesting, so sometimes these numbers look a lot bigger and you think it's a lot bigger ups and downs for the day, but it's really not because, 500 point move isn't really anything special in these stocks. Of course, the big stocks this week, everyone's going to be watching will be Tesla. I mean, how much higher can this go? What do you guys think? I mean, look at this thing. After hours, it was down a little bit, but I mean, how much higher can Tesla keep going? I mean, it's got to stop. I mean, it's not like in the last week his car production tripled. He's now at a 1,700 P&E. So even if his stock doubled earnings, doubled everything, it's still a 900 times earnings for the next year. I mean, it's just insane. But it'll be interesting. A lot of people are talking about NEO, so they've been watching NEO, and we did play NEO one time. NEO's near all-time highs. Now, the interesting thing with NEO is NEO doesn't make any money. So NEO is where everyone will probably jump in because NEO's losing 60 times P&E. So if NEO actually became profitable or anything or turns around a little bit, that's going to be able to move a lot faster, and stuff. So it'll be interesting, what people are playing. And there's so many other electric vehicle ones out there right now. And everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, so definitely be interesting. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? And somebody said Tesla over 1,000. I mean, anything's possible. If he announces a stock split again, it probably will go. It's just insane what it's doing and stuff. So just crazy and stuff. Derek Dixon, you think Apple has any downside risk because of the Parler fiasco? So for those of you that don't know, so Parler is this like a freedom of speech app that doesn't really moderate what people say or do on their app. Well, Google first removed Parler. Now Apple's removed Parler, and now Amazon's removing Parler from their hosting services. Well, one is it's not going to affect Apple. Because one is if Parler's already on your phone, and this was kind of like with the whole TikTok issue with the government, if Parler's already on your phone, the app will continue to work. It's just you won't be able to get any updates on your app. So if they have new features or new things, you won't be able to update or fix those on your app. Two, Parler doesn't create any revenue for Apple. So Apple has to have apps. So the apps that don't, Apple only makes money off of revenue. So Parler doesn't bring in any revenue, nothing, for them. And what is someone going to do? They're going to say it's off the Apple store, it's off the Google store. So I mean, there's not a lot of stores to get it, and you can still go to your browser on your Apple or your Android phone and use Parler, but it's not. I don't. The same amount of people who said they were all moving to Canada when Trump won 4 years ago that never left our country are probably the same people who say they're not going to use an Apple phone if Apple deletes Parler. So it's all a bunch of noise. At the end of the day, it's not going to have any effect on Apple or Google. So they're all based on revenue. And like I said, unless everyone's going to get rid of their telephones in the future. So Chris says, what creates a stock split? Well, stock splits are usually created when a company's stock is hitting an all-time high or getting way up there, and it becomes harder for people to be able to afford. So they have stock splits so that you can get more shareholders involved. Well, now that a lot of companies have fraction stocks and different things like that, so when a fraction stock is, so let's say you wanted to buy Amazon, it's $3,000 a share, and you only have $100 in your trading account, you'd be able to buy 1/30th of Amazon or something. So you can buy fractions. But people like to have those big numbers, and people also like to, like the sound of larger numbers. So stock splits are usually a very positive sign for stocks because it helps bring more people into it, because if more people can buy it at a lower price, that helps the stock go up. It really doesn't mean anything as far as the stock's performance or what it's doing, but it's just always been said that when the companies announce stock splits, it just helps their price and their stock to go up and stuff. So that's a big part of it, and that's what. And stock splits are just based on a company on their own deciding to do it. Mandy says, "How do I even buy stocks? Is there an app?" So there's different ways to buy stocks. I use Charles Schwab. There's E-Trade. There's Webull. Robinhood. You just need to set up a brokerage account, which with whatever broker that looks the best fit for you. Let's see. Justin Sanders seems to be good investments to make money on some and MLM. So not familiar with them. We're going to take a look at them. And Justin, why do you think they're good? So when you guys do put up stuff, why don't you guys also put up why you think these stocks are good? Obviously, if they're mainstream stocks that I know, then it's a lot easier for me. But if you have different ones that, like why do you think it's good? I don't know. Like without a lot of research, there's not a lot of news. So you like this one, these stocks could benefit most if Democrats control Congress. Well, obviously they control everything now. But I don't know. I mean, if we look at the 3-month chart on this stock, it's near its highs. Hard to really say anything about it. And I don't really know about anything about it. MLM. Let's see. Martin Marietta, obviously that stock name we know, does a lot of defense contracting. Democrats are always good for defense spending. Look at the 3-month chart. That's near its highs. That's hard to say. This one, the dividend yield is not very good, so you don't want to really play it for a yield. P&E is in order. These companies really don't have a lot of growth. Like I said, they're very good stocks with Democrats being in control, but they don't they don't move. They don't have a new product. So unless we were at war, we're at something like the defense. Congress has a set defense budget, so they're not going to be spending and buying. Anything out of the ordinary. So you kind of know what the budget is in spending, and unless they have some new product that, the government's like, we have to, redo all our missiles or airplanes or, some kind of, defense, they've already set that budget. So like I said, these are very good long-term steady stocks, but when you do stuff for the military or you're a big military or big government military based contractor, unless something, big comes up. Somebody said, maybe we should all play electric fences, because every probably federal building now is going to have new fences, electric fences or security fences put in. I haven't even looked at what those companies would be. But like I said, if you want to think ahead, you have to look at, this different stuff like that. So, all right. Clint says, I think Facebook, Google, Apple, and Amazon will get hammered this week. I don't know. I don't know why they would. They don't have anything, people, you have to remember, most of those people, if you think it's because of the people who are rioting and those people are going to, like I said, get rid of, these stocks that, don't want to have and freedom of speech and all these issues. I can tell you right now, in America, there's a lot more people who support safety and intelligence than radicals and people doing severe damage to the government and buildings and people dying. So I don't think it's going to affect I don't think these stocks, if these stocks go down this week, it's profit taking. It's not like these stocks are going to get hurt because they don't want to host Parler, and stuff. And, like I said, there's smart money, there's, irrational money. And, and the bottom line is, I can tell you too, probably 99.9% of those people that you saw on television on Wednesday, they don't own stock in Facebook, Google, Apple, or Amazon. So it's not like they're going to sell their stock off and say, and then they're going to be fools. So then once you sell your stock off in Amazon and then you realize and it goes way back up, then what? Like, what are you going to replace it with? Like, people want to make money. At the end of the day, people want to make money. So Chaos, did you sell JAG? We sold it a bunch of times, but as of right now, we are still in it. I have 25,000 shares. I actually have more than that because I have JAG and a couple of other accounts, but I'm looking for an open morning pop and to get out of it. If it does drop in the morning, I may average down. Just have to see because they're supposed to have big news on it. Our man, Jeff Schwartz, where those Jeff Schwartz emojis are, says this thing could be $7, but I don't know. These penny stocks make 10, 15, 20 cents and be happy, just very, very easy and stuff. Quick money. Income trader, RSP, equal weight, S&P, very bullish. This suggests breathe supporting this move up. We can take a look. RSP. Not familiar with that one either. So many stocks out there, so it's hard, but I like having them hit my radar, and then we can watch them. The Invesco, S&P 500. Let's see. 3 month. It hasn't really moved a whole lot. Yeah. I don't know. Hard to say. This one, from an activity standpoint, if you look at like year to date, well, I guess you need to go 1 year. Obviously it had the big dip when everything else dipped, but it hasn't, if you were playing this one for the whole year, you're really only up in the last November, December, 10%. So the return on investment on that one is honestly not very good. It's great. Don't get me wrong, 10% a year is a great return on investment, but I'm saying if you really want to make money, I don't think it's that great of an investment. So you think Carol Baskin is as influential as Elon? No, I don't think Carol Baskin is. What do you think?
I don't think so.
Would you listen to Carol Baskin or would you listen to Elon Musk?
Elon does have a bunch of rockets in space.
Yeah, Elon has a bigger pocketbook. I think he has a few more followers than Carol Baskin. So why does your son look so tired? I don't know. He's been working out at the gym. He's getting ready. He's got hockey tryouts for the high school season coming up next week. So there's a good one. Raja, how about Bitcoin? What do you think about it? Yeah, so this is interesting. Very interesting. When you look at this and pull up Bitcoin price, Bitcoin is coming down hard from 43,000. How would you like to be the guy who bought Bitcoin at 43,000 and you're down 6,000 a coin? And here's some news with this. Analyst who nailed Bitcoin's 40,000 level says 50% collapse could come next. I've said this a lot of times. There was no reason for Bitcoin to run this much, and we're actually going to do some Bitcoin buys. I'm going to show you guys how to invest in Bitcoin and how to do it right and make money long term. But it's going to be risky, and like I keep telling you, it's just like with Tesla. If he misses earnings by a penny, that stock could be down 200, 300 points. And if he beats earnings by a penny, it could be 1,000. And if he announces another 5 or 10 for 1 stock split, it could be $2,000, $2,500 again. It's insane. There's some stocks you have intelligence and you have people who know what they're doing with the stock and buying them intelligently. And then there's just other stocks that people are emotionally buying and doing what they do. So also it's interesting. You have had a big dip in gold. Gold was getting up there 1900s plus, and now it's back to the 1800s. So I don't know. There's the one thing is if Bitcoin's coming down, maybe people are selling their Bitcoin. A lot of people, I'm sure, are taking profit. How does if you own something at $100, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, it's $40,000, you're crazy not to sell some and take profit. And that actually this could be a good sign, because all these people, if they made a lot of money in Bitcoin, we could see a lot more money coming into the marketplace. You know, a lot of, you know, there's money on the sidelines always, but you need money to come into the marketplace, and it comes from different places. So you always have to look at that. So you never know. Crazy Carl in the house. Let's see. I like this one. Ronnie, is there any sex toy stocks? I think there was. I think Adam and Eve was publicly traded at one time. I don't know. For fun, let's look it up. Adam and Eve. Those probably did good during COVID. Let's see. Adam and Eve. I didn't know what the search would be. This would be fun. Where did my search bar go?
Right there.
Oh, here. Yeah. Adam and Eve. So nothing there. I don't know. Sex stocks. K-pop scandals are crushing Korean entertainment stocks. I don't know. I don't know if there is any sex toy stocks. Sex toy stocks. Will be interesting. Sex toy sales surge. What was that? That was 2011. Wow. Apparently they don't write much about sex toys. Private equity, new target industry, sex toys. Toys of billionaires. X-Knight resigns from police. I don't know. El Dorado. There we go. No, so there was a sex toy company called El Dorado. But this is El Dorado Casinos is not El Dorado, the sex toy company. So I don't want to make sure we don't confuse those two. We'll have a run on El Dorado for sex toys, but interesting question. You never know. So Bill Ackman announcement on PSTH SPAC could come as soon and see a good pop. Yeah, you know, that one did go up and then came way down. It was up to like $20, and oh no, that's at the new high. So that closed at 29. Yeah. There's another one I was watching that was up and then came down. Yeah, let's see here. Market cap's $36 billion. Yeah, definitely have to watch this one tomorrow. But these are tough because there's no options on them really, and they're already $30 a share. So for the average person, you know, if you're going to buy, 1,000 shares, and I don't know how much higher it's going to pop. You know, it could pop $10, it could pop $1, it can come down $10. So definitely watch Pershing Square tomorrow and stuff. But Mary says, what do you think of the future of Draftking stock? So I think those stocks with the online, gaming are going to do well long term. I think, but like I said, short term, they have huge acquisition costs. So if we look at DraftKings, let's pull that one up for you. Let's see. It's way up already, but it's losing a lot of money. Look at that P&E, 30 times loss. So like I was saying with these stocks is they're very competitive. So while yes, they're going to make a lot of money, but it's that customer acquisition. So like DraftKings and a couple of them, and I know this because Brian at Denver was all over these. They were giving you up to $500 back. So you make your first bet up to $500. If you win, you keep it. It's a free bet. If you lose, they basically were giving you a $500 credit. So you basically, there's a very expensive acquisition cost to get new users, and that's the big problem. They have to get new users, and then hope those people stay. I don't know what the stay rates are, and I've seen some of these people talk. I think the guy running DraftKings, I saw him on CNBC. He seemed very analytic and definitely knew what he was doing and talking about. But they do have huge acquisition costs. And that's what a lot of people forget about is something can make a lot of money. But if you're spending $100, $500, $1,000 to get a new customer, and that customer is only worth $200, or, maybe over the course of a year, he's going to be worth $1,000. But if you spend $500 up front, you're going to lose money for the first, 9 months until you finally make it up later on and stuff. So Plug, we've looked at that one. That's all energy related and stuff, and pull that one up. That one was up big last week too. That's the problem is you have to play these ones before they go up, and stuff, and know what's going to be the big runners and stuff. But yeah, like Plug is already, this is the same thing. This is a stock that was, $16-20, and it's already up. I don't want to, buy stocks that have already gone up 50-60%. And same thing, even, it's still 180 times, 180 years negative earnings. Do you want to own a company and pay 180 years negative what it loses? So, these are scary stocks. These are hard to play. You have to really hope that something's going on. Thank you, Crazy Poop Stain Carl, for the $1 super chat sticker. Thank you so much. Crazy Carl thinks everyone is a little crazy. Very interesting. So Anthony C says, do you short stocks all the time? And you know what? Like Signal would be the one to short. God, if we would have known this News Friday Signal would be the one to short like no other, probably all the way down to $1 or $2. If for some God reason Signal was still at like $6 tomorrow when it opens or higher, I think that's going to be the one to short like no other. Because like I said, that's going to be a bloodbath. But you also have to be careful. All these people over short stocks, and then when the market moves up, they have to cover and they run. And that's why I said one big thing when you're playing stocks is you want to budget what you're playing with and how you're doing it, because you got to make sure for those up and downs, to protect yourself and stuff. So Raja, check out GIK online gambling spec. All right. GIK. All right. Put that up for you guys. Gig Capital. Well, that one's way up from $10 to 15, but let's see. This one says electric van. I'm not sure online gambling, but unless I got the wrong ticker symbol. Not sure. John Jasper says shorting not suitable for many because of margin requirements. And yeah, so and that's the other thing is you do have, with margin requirements going up, going down, and different stuff, and the shorts, you have to be careful, and you have to have that money to back it up. When these things move, you have to have it to back it up. Like, and also the other thing is like what we're doing. Like I said, even if Apple tomorrow is down 10 points, yeah, we're gonna be down. And just like you guys saw on Tuesday last week, I was down $433,000. I didn't change any of my styles. I did try and average down a little bit. And then when, some of my accounts, when it came back, it made me even more money. But you have to be very consistent in what you do. If you play stocks emotionally, you're going to lose. If you panic, you're going to lose. And if you play high risk penny stocks and some of that stuff, and like Jaguar is very high risk, it can turn against you. What do you do? Let's say you're a smaller investor, you have a couple of $1,000s in the marketplace. You had 1,000 shares of Jaguar at $4, and it opens up at $250 tomorrow. You're down $1,500. Are you going to just leave it alone? You'd hope it comes back, and by the end of the day, it could be $1.50. I mean, just remember, what goes up can come down just as fast. Let's see. Hey, Raj, what do you think about Rackspace? They had a dismal IPO earlier this year, but I think they may go up. So back in the day, I used to host with Rackspace and different stuff. I honestly haven't followed them in a long time, but obviously, Rackspace, Amazon, and all these hosting service spaces, I think have great potential and stuff. But yeah, just hard to say.
I read somewhere that 80% of Amazon's revenue comes from their server hosting, actually.
Maybe pre-COVID, but
for the hosting, hosting services.
Yeah, I mean maybe COVID, but I think online sales are way more than 80% of their hosting business. I mean, there's like on Amazon Day when they had Prime Day and they sold, a couple of $100 billion was it and stuff. I don't think their hosting service generates that in a day. So I don't know, but the good news is when you could read into their earnings reports, and they usually break all that stuff down, so be able to tell. So somebody says Apple not good. So one thing you do in a couple of weeks, we have earnings coming up. Apple is going to have I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Apple, revenue wise, sales wise, and everything, Q4 is the best quarter Apple has ever had in sales. They had 3 new phones, 2 new Macs or 3 Macs,
2 Macs.
Yeah, AirPods, or the new headphones. They had every one of their new products hit in the fourth quarter because of the delays. So their fourth quarter is going to be a blowout. It's going to be the best revenue they've ever had. Going forward, if they say something like sales are a little down in January or something, or if they're not expecting as big a quarter, that's the only thing that's going to hurt Apple on earnings. But I can tell you right now, Apple is going to have the fourth quarter for Apple is going to be their best quarter ever. There is no question about it. All their stuff hit. Normally, their stuff hits in September. So some of those sales, the new iPhone comes out in September. So some of those sales are in September. Well, look at that. They had a great third quarter, but they didn't have any new iPhone sales. It's all going to hit at once in the fourth quarter. Apple is going to be huge. I mean, the only question will be, is Apple, what they say looking forward. So, and also it just depends what the market's doing that day. I mean, this market every hour changes, what it's doing. Crazy Carl, $1 lucky super chat. Thank you, Crazy Carl. Yeah, and Apple had the App Store the other day when they did $1 billion. Apple did $1 billion revenue just in App Store during the holiday season. So, I mean, Apple is continuing to go. So, I don't know why anybody would think differently that Apple would, like I said, I mean, could Apple come back down to $110? Of course it could. Could it go up to $150? Of course it can. Will Goldman Sachs try and say Apple's overpriced? Of course, the guy's done it for a year straight now, and he'll do it a week. He'll do it a couple of days before earnings to try and get it down again, and then it goes up. But like I said, Apple 100%. This will be their biggest quarter in sales, everything that they've ever had, and that's a fact. I mean, just you guys have common sense. Look at what, like I said. You just have to use facts and know what's going on. Try and order an Apple phone right now. It's they're not in stock. The stores get them in randomly, but they're still coming and going and stuff. Alex says you should look into Bingo. So we've looked at that one. The problem with some of these is like they've already gone up so much. So you're catching them. If you're not catching them at the right times and you're catching them late, These are risky. I mean, this, like I said, this is the stuff that's 50 cents. It's already gone up. It's gone as high as $7.24. Now it's $5. Well, that's a big dip. Imagine if you pick that one at, if you're the guy who bought it at $7.20 and now it's $5, you're down, a third of your money almost a third, 28%. So Marcus says, I feel bad that I own Samsung. I don't know. They have good phones. So, somebody says, why do they pump Tesla more than Apple? Crazy. Tesla is just that stock that everybody just is all over. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, great product, great car. But it just doesn't, like the valuation of it doesn't make any sense. But everyone wants to, one day Tesla is going to have, the best battery technology, best this, best that. Yeah. In 10 years from now, I think Tesla will be trillions of dollar valued companies. But today I don't see it. They don't have the product down. Like I said, we've looked at it. It's a P&E of 1,700. Would you buy any business? If my business was worth $1, would you pay $1,700 to buy my company? No, it's insane. And that's what you're doing. If you buy Tesla, that's what you're doing. I'm not going to complain. I think the premiums on those options, and that's why the premiums on those calls, when we did that scenario on Friday, if you guys didn't see it, go watch my video. It's insane, the premium. 10% off the stock price, and the premium on these things is incredible. It's just insane. So, question. If you don't have reserve, can't sell puts, correct? It's just buying Apple weekly calls a good way to go instead. So, yeah, if you don't have level 3 trading, you can't buy and sell puts naked and stuff. If you think Apple is going to go up this week, then buying a call is the way to go. If you think Apple is going to go down this week, then you would want to buy the put. But you have to remember, when you buy a call or a put, you have 100% loss if that stock doesn't hit, and stuff. With what we're doing, we also have 100% loss if the stock went to zero, but with just buying calls and puts on a weekly basis, you have 100% loss. We know Apple's not going to zero if we, sell the put to open. And like I said, this is also used, the selling puts to open, and what I'm doing right now, this isn't always going to work. This just works right now when you have either up market or you have a flat market. If the market starts coming down really fast, selling puts to open isn't going to be what you're going to see the Raja doing. You're going to be just doing some other moves or shorting or just buying puts to open, if I think it's going to, crash. But selling puts to open is a strategy that you use when the market is, flat, maybe going to come down a couple of percent or just keep going up. And it does work when it comes down a couple of percent because we're trying to stay away. If you look at what we're doing, like this week, Apple's at 132. We wrote the 128. And I also didn't shoot the load. I didn't, write 1,500 contracts, or something. I did 800 contracts. So if we have to average down or if Apple does come down a couple of points, we're okay. If we have to roll it out, like I said, and if you guys, hopefully if you rewatch Tuesday's $400,000 loss and Wednesday's $565,000 gain, you'll see what I'm talking about, where the volatility, the premiums, at the end of the day, we're playing for that premium. So, I mean, the perfect scenario for me would be to have a lot of contracts outstanding and have the stock just stay flat. If a stock would stay flat and every day that premium comes out of the stock. So when we look at like Apple going into this week, and we have this, the 128 is now 88 cents. It was higher. We already made money on it because it's come down, but at 88 cents, and if you take 88 cents and you divide it by 5 days, that's 20 cents a day. Well, I mean, $1 would be 20 cents a day. This would be like 16 cents a day. So tomorrow, even if Apple tomorrow is down $1, that 120, if Apple tomorrow came down a whole dollar and was like, is $131, that 128, that's 88 cents right now would probably be $1. So it's not going to see that big movement. And let me here, I can show you this so you guys understand what I'm saying. So when you look at the chart and you see like, okay, so the 128 is 88 cents. So if we were to move up $1 to the 129, that's $1.12. So basically 12 cents plus 12, 24 cents difference. So if Apple comes down $1 tomorrow, but you also there's one less day left in the week. So if Apple came down $1, so technically if Apple didn't do anything and it came down $1 to 131, that 128 would go up 24 cents technically based on this. But you're going to lose 15 cents a day, 88 cents divided by 5. You're going to lose 15, 16, 17 cents a day because as the week gets less and less, you have less risk. It's just like when you're, if you're playing poker and, you get dealt crappy cards, but all of a sudden, those cards show up in the middle, your odds go up. If those cards don't show up, your odds go down. It's the same thing. So, and I'm going to make a chart because this kind of gets complicated when I try to explain this, but it's the same thing like with Tesla. So if we pull up Tesla now, and you guys looked at like those Tesla premiums, it's insane what they're going for. So if we go to, trading and we go, actually, let's see here, change. There you go, Tesla. So yeah, actually this is better for to show you guys these things. So if we look at the Tesla and let's say we do 16, let's do all. You can see a larger thing what I'm talking about here. But I mean, we go all the way down to $100 and there's no bids. So let's see where the first bids start to hit, probably around 400. Actually, I mean, look at this. We could play Tesla at 10 at the $360 one has a 7-cent bid, 10-cent bid. These are all over the place. They probably wouldn't be good for very much volume, but here this is some serious money at $500. Okay, Tesla is at $880. All right. Do you guys think Tesla will be below $500 this week? So what you could do, so we could sell the $500 option on Tesla. We could sell, if you sold 100 of those, 100 contracts, you're going to get $5,000. And the odds of Tesla dropping to $500 this week, if Tesla drops to $500 this week, Apple will be $100, and the Dow will finish the week at 25,000 if Tesla's at $500 this week. But that's what I'm saying. These premiums are just insane. So let's say we went up to like something for $1. So let's say we went to 600, which I think is a safe bet. And that's what I'm going to look at tomorrow. Is maybe I'll sell some of these 600s for $1, 280 points away, from a strike price. It's insane, that kind of money. So we sell 300 of those contracts at $1 and we're going to get $30,000. And Tesla has to drop $280. Now, If Tesla opens up and it's down 20 or 30 points, that will be like $1.25. If Tesla opens up 30 points, that could be 80 cents. But it's insane. Like if you look at it, it's a little harder to get accurate figures sometimes when it's so far out of the money. But you can kind of see here where it's like every $10, it goes up about 10 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents. So, if you went to the 700, it goes to 267. Even that one. I mean, if we wrote 400 contracts of that, it's $100,000. It's 100. If you wrote 4 contracts of that, 400 contracts for $100,000. That's insane money. You can't even put a price tag on this. Look at this, $100,000, 400 contracts at the 700, and it has $180. $180 to drop. So you're talking about a 20% drop for the, or wait, 80, 20, 160. Do you think Tesla's going to drop 20% next week and you can make $100,000 on this? I don't know. I think it's a pretty safe bet. It's insane, these premiums. And here, even if you're a little scared, do the 680 at $2. Now, like I said, this is Friday's price, so it's going to change a little bit. But I think this is good money. The other thing you can do, and you could really leverage it, we could do the 2. So let's say, we want to, and I'm going to do some plays. Maybe I'll do one this week for you guys, like the verticals and stuff. So to leverage our money more, because one thing, the problem is Tesla has a high margin requirement, much higher than Apple. And it's a $600 stock. So Apple at $130, you can write 4 times less Tesla at 600, because you would have to have $300 per share on hand for the margin requirement. So, but what we can do is we could sell the 600, and then we can come all the way down here, let's say, to the 500. So we sell the 600 at $1.03 or $1, right? And then I come down here and I buy the 500 at what would be the call of the same price. We buy the 500, let's say, for 50 cents. So now we're losing half our profit, but our margin requirement is only $50 a share. So all of a sudden, let's say we did 1,000 600s at $1, we pick up $100,000, and then we sell, and then we have to buy to hedge it. The 500 strike at 50 cents, so we lose. It's throwing away $50,000, but we're getting that hedge. But we could, with my account size, I could probably write $1 million in Tesla doing this, and I could probably make $500,000 next week. And like I said, be 280 points under where it closed. It's insane. And worst case, if Tesla dropped 300 points, we'd have to roll it out, keep rolling it out. But there's going to be a lot sadder people than the Raja if Tesla drops 280 points next week. But these are some interesting things that you can do with leverage when you're playing these different stocks and everything. So there's some different stuff. And like I said, I'm gonna get into more of that stuff, and show you guys. Actually, also, since we're here, APL, if we look at Apple on the same scenario here, well, we have it up. You guys can see on Apple that where the premiums are. So, all right. So here we are with the 128, 87 cents, and then the 12 cents and the 130. And you can see here that you can just see how it fluctuates so much. And that's the whole thing. There's not a huge premium in these. So, here, if you want to write the 120, I think the 120 on Apple, it's like printing money. It's giving yourself a gift. But, 1,000 contracts of that at 20 cents, like I said, it's still a great return on your investment. Make $20,000 for the week doing nothing. And Apple has to come down, 10%, or 9%. It's probably a great, base. So check that out. All right. Chaos says, so what's the Tesla put to buy? I don't know. I'm going to see what Tesla does tomorrow. If Tesla starts the day tomorrow up, I'll probably, I think the 600, 620s, I think those are safe. They're, like I said, 180, 200 points away, right? 50 of them, 100 of them. I think it's free money like we were doing. We picked Tesla apart 4 times on Friday. Did you guys see that? We picked this thing apart, with trades and everything Friday. So, and it wasn't hard to do. If we look at orders with fills, this was Friday. we have to go down here to the Tesla. Somewhere, there we go. Yeah, I mean, first I did that 750. Look at this. So we sold the 750 at $1.09. Then I bought it back. Or I sold this the day before. I bought it back in the morning at 33 cents. So we made money there. And this is 100 points out of the money. Then I bought that. Then I resold I moved it up to 800 because Tesla was like 860. I figured it's not going to drop 60 points in one day. So I sold this for $1.15. Then 2 hours later, I bought it back for 64 cents. So we made another 50 cents. Then I did the 840. So I moved up from it because Tesla was, as time was expiring. So I sold these for $1.50. And then I let those expire worthless. And then I said, you know what? Tesla's at 870 with an hour or so to go on the day. So I sold 50 of these for $1.80. And I picked up, almost 10,000, $99,000 plus dollars in an hour on Tesla, just because of the premium and the time and the value. And and these actually, when I bought them at $1.83, at one point they were like 2.25 because Tesla, I think at the time was like 877, and it came down to like 869 or so. I mean, it's still 19 points away. I was like, Tesla's not going to drop 30 points in an hour. I mean, there was no news to make it want to drop or do anything like that. So those are the things you want to look at, and like I say, what you want to play and stuff. Also, like I said, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who bought Signal, because unfortunately Signal tomorrow is going to have a really bad day since it was the wrong stock that got tweeted. So it'll be interesting to watch that. Maybe, like I said, we'll short it and stuff. But hey, guys, you're my money makers. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a big week this coming week, makes lots of money. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click on the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you click on the follow button on Facebook. And this is going to be a big week, guys. Lots of excitement, lots of news, governmental news going on and stuff. So stay safe, play it safe, play smart, think before you make any trades. And hey, you guys, you're my money makers. Let's make lots of money this week. So let's do it.